Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I will be staying on this jersey type of discussion after doing the reverse retros, ranking and breaking them all down in yesterday's video. So make sure to check that out after this one if you haven't already. That was a lot of fun. But I'm going to stay on topic regarding these jerseys and give my thoughts regarding my favorite jersey from every single team the NHL has to offer. I was really looking forward to doing something a little bit more personal so you guys can get a better grasp as to my kind of taste, not just with jerseys, but then going down the road if say I do a video talking about my favorite player from each and every team in the league, or breaking down logos, my thoughts on them. If you want to see that kind of content further on the channel, make sure to let me know in the comments below if you end up enjoying this kind of one. But also make sure you stay until the end of the video to find out all my thoughts and all the deets regarding these NHL jerseys and why I exactly covet them from each individual NHL team. So without further ado guys, let's get right into this video. Starting off with the Anaheim Ducks, we have, yes, the Mighty Ducks jerseys, and the away ones in particular. These are arguably my favorite jerseys out of the entire NHL, and it's funny how they land first in this video, given the fact that I'm doing it in alphabetical order. So just make note of that, guys. But these jerseys are simply phenomenal. Out of all the jerseys the Ducks have had in their history, and they've had some great ones, because we all know when they first came into the league back just a couple decades ago, they were originally the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. So they aren't labeled as the Mighty Ducks anymore. They are just the Anaheim Ducks as we know, because they were sold from Disney, I believe. But in the meantime, when they first came in the league, they had these gems, and Paul Kariya, that's the first thing you think of regarding these jerseys among other players. But just such a beautiful jersey between the striping. The logo itself is easily one of my favorite logos of all time, if not my favorite. I love the color. I love that kind of green slash aqua slash teal thing going on. Their home jerseys for this too have purple instead of the white. They're all beautiful, but these white ones they're so hard to find for anyone trying to purchase one as it is, because they are just that good. They're so coveted, absolutely beautiful. I love literally every single thing about this jersey, and I will for the remainder of my life. I hope to hopefully get one of these one day, but I know that they're definitely not easy to find by any means. And without having any orange in here too, that's what I love it as well versus other Ducks jerseys. I've never been a huge lover of whether it's that goldish kind of color or even the orange, if you will. I love what they start out with when they were the Mighty Ducks Anaheim. Just amazing jerseys overall, and I definitely want to know your thoughts on them, because it does not get much better than that for me. Next up, we have the Arizona Coyotes, and I know I'm already picking the Coyotes' new pie-out jersey that they just came out with yesterday regarding the reverse retros. And look, I get it. This is a very controversial jersey. You either love it or you hate it, and I'm for sure in that love it category, as I touched on my previous video. It is a phenomenal jersey, and I love it so much better than the original pie-out that first came out in 1998, I believe, until 2003, and in which the main color instead of purple was green. But having this as purple, there's also Gila monsters on the shoulders, I believe. You just can't see in this photo. Just such a phenomenal jersey, and I love everything regarding the Coyotes when they do other type of jersey styles in the past. Everything about it. The Kachina, I love the Kachina so much. That black jersey with the maroon and the green as well. It is a great honorable mention, but I seriously am in love with these. Maybe they'll grow on me more when they're on the ice, or maybe I will dislike them more over time once I see them playing. I'm not sure, but as of now, they are easily my favorite for the Coyotes, and they're just absolutely beautiful, between having the desert on the bottom, having the Gila monsters, I believe, on the shoulders here. That logo, the Kachina head, is superb. I don't know what else to say. This jersey, I love it. I'm never going to stop loving it. I don't think. It's just truly a one-of-a-kind jersey that you will definitely not see in an NHL that has a lot of teams that are basically going with more basic designs, if you will. Only now, since Adidas, do I really feel that they're starting to branch out with doing more custom designs that are out of the retro mind, if you will. I'm curious to see what they're going to do going forward with more original takes and not so much renditions of retro jerseys from the past. Next up, we have the Boston Bruins, and this is one of those jerseys where I don't know why they're necessarily my favorite, but they are. Boston rocked these, I believe, right in the early 2010s, and they have always resonated well with me. I love the fact that it isn't necessarily that big B in the middle, because that's what we all know when we think of the Boston Bruins. I love this design of the bear in here as well, and it's a simple jersey, yet it gets the job done for me. Boston jerseys, I've never been a huge lover of seeing yellow in jerseys as it is, but I think they really complement it well with having the yellow in part of that crest logo, if you will, having the bear, having, say, Bruins across, kind of giving it more of that retro look. And then they also had the spec bees, the normal logo on the shoulders. I think it's just all balanced out really nice. I've loved these when I've seen them on the ice in years prior. I hope that they bring something similar like this again going forward, because I've always been a fan of that logo. I'm not sure exactly why, but it's always something that has stuck with me. So yeah, I really like this Boston Bruins jersey. Nothing crazy going on, simplistic, but it gets a job done, as I mentioned, and it's definitely a favorite. Next up, we have the Buffalo Sabres, and it has to be. I have been in so much love with these jerseys, both the home and away, black and white, literally ever since I first came across them years ago when I started following hockey. These jerseys during the time when the Buffalo Sabres went to the Stanley Cup against the Dallas Stars, we know the story there. Everything about those jerseys has just been phenomenal to me. Whether I see guys like Dominik Hasek, that's the first thing I think of regarding that jersey, or other guys too like Pat LaFontaine. They just such a remarkable jersey, and I think that while Buffalo does look great in the royal blue and yellow like other jerseys, and they brought that back for this upcoming season, these are just phenomenal in my opinion. Having the Buffalo head on front there, nothing beats it at all. It truly, these are jaw-dropping between how they have the sides, the lining, how it basically goes down into an upside-down V, like a triangle, if you will, how that split the shoulders, and I know I can't show the numbers here, but on the back, but you get an idea from the shoulders, the sleeves. Just amazing overall jersey. I love the design. I love the coloration. I think they did a perfect job balancing, bringing in that gray too. It's a bigger component than maybe one would like, but I think it balances out truly perfectly. Amazing jerseys, another one of my favorites in the entire NHL's history. And a good honorable mention will be, however, the Sabres alternate they had last year, which I believe was their 50th anniversary, where they had that gold crest, and then it was that navy blue and gold. It was just, for the away jersey, amazing. That's my second favorite out of all these jerseys, but I still have to go with these for sure at number one. Just amazing. I can't get Dominik Hasek out of my head every single time I look at these. Just such a remarkable jersey, and I really hope that I get one day. Next up, we have the Calgary Flames, and this is already a hot take in my opinion, and I understand that. It's the Calgary Flames, a new, bringing back Blasty, but more simplistic, not having the red in the bottom. I get that. I understand why the Flames jersey is so good, because that logo is fantastic. I've really enjoyed every single Flames jersey I've seen, outside of the ones where they had it actually say Calgary on the front. Never was a huge fan of those, but outside of that, bringing back their retro jerseys now where there's no black involved, it's just more of that brighter red and yellow. I think those are fantastic, and they're definitely a good argument to be my favorite as well. But since I've seen this Blasty jersey, the new rendition of it as a reverse retro, I've been in absolute love with it. I can't wait to see them on the ice. I think guys like Matthew Tkachuk especially are going to just look absolutely sick in these jerseys. Johnny Gaudreau, everyone in that lineup, I cannot wait to see them in it, and I really hope I can get one of these one day to build a collection, hopefully. Phenomenal jersey between the striping and the simplicity of it. Kind of gives Vancouver Canucks vibes too, with the flying skate as well, between the red and yellow. But I love those kind of jerseys. Just phenomenal. I cannot say enough good things. Just truly remarkable jersey. That's all I can say. Next up, we have the Carolina Hurricanes alternate, back when they had the original type of Storm jersey, if you will, with the logo. And I believe this logo, at least the Storm logo we see, is regarding a tropical storm. And that's why they changed it to the two flags now, because the two flags, from my understanding, is an actual hurricane. So that is why they changed it up a bit. But I still like these a lot better than their current ones, the ones that we've seen in the previous years with Adidas. These ones always stood out to me when Eric Stahl was rocking them, and Cam Ward and that lineup for the Carolina Hurricanes years ago. And phenomenal jersey. I've always been a fan, and you'll see a trend here regarding a lot of, say, darker jerseys or black, if you will, but between the gray, the white, the red, similar to the Buffalo jersey I showed you. Just such an awesome jersey. I love the fact that they have the boxes down there, and I know that there is symbolism behind that. And between having the Carolina Hurricanes logos on the shoulders, but they're black, so they're hidden, I like that touch. It's subtle, but if you look closely, you see it there. And I think every time I saw them on the ice, they were one of my favorite jerseys. Awesome jerseys. Love everything about them. Carolina, for the most part, has had some great jerseys in their history. Next up, we have the Chicago Blackhawks, and my favorite, honestly, to an extent, easily, is the first Winter Classic jerseys that they wore in the 2000s. I think this was the first Winter Classic that both Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane were a part of. I could be wrong, but I believe that was the case in the early 2000s. I'm getting a gut feeling it was 2006, but I could be wrong. But these are amazing. I love everything about these. Between how the lettering looks on the back too, I know you don't see it here, but it's that nice black lettering too, and it's right in the middle of that striping going on. right dead center in the middle and the back. It blends so well. It's a traditional look to it, paying homage to times in the past. I love the captain logo on there. Everything about this jersey I'm obsessed with. I've always wanted one of these, and seriously, just a remarkable jersey. I remember that Winter Classic against the Detroit Red Wings, I believe. Phenomenal jersey. Can't say enough good things. I know there's a trend here with black jerseys, but come on, these are beautiful. You can't tell me that they're not. Well, you probably can in the comments below, but my personal opinion, these rock. Next up, we have the Colorado Avalanche, and I'm not mentioning the Nordiques here just because I didn't feel like bringing in jerseys in this video that aren't the exact same team. You know, whether they have a name change or a relocation, whatever it may be, it just didn't feel genuine to me. So because of that, I didn't incorporate the Nordiques. If I did, they would obviously be my choice here, but I love these Colorado Avalanche alternates that they've been rocking since going with Adidas. Phenomenal jersey. I think they're so underrated. Their logo's great as it is, but I think they look so great. Nathan McKinnon, all of them look so smooth in that navy blue, and then that perfect type of Colorado logo that reminds you so much of the Colorado Rockies back when I believe that's what the New Jersey Devils originally were before they became the New Jersey Devils. But phenomenal jersey. I love the logo. It's so simplistic, yet it gets the job done. They have the Colorado flag on their shoulders as well. Just such a simple and yet effective jersey. I love the going from the navy blue to the purple on the sleeves. Everything about this jersey has always stood out to me. It's always been one of my favorites that we've seen in recent years in the NHL, and it is not going to be stopped. It's not going to stop anytime soon. I can tell you that much. Next up, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets, and everyone seems to love these. These, I believe, were the first alternates that they came out with this kind of design in the early 2010s. When I first saw them, they were remarkable. And also, I want to add, it doesn't matter what player I'm showing you, whether it's Matt Calvert or whoever. There isn't a reasoning for the player. It's just me going through online, picking out exactly what photo I think would be best for this video. But regardless, I love it. I love that they have that off-white / cream going on the shoulders and the logo. It's awesome. Normally, you wouldn't think that without red, Columbus could make these kind of jerseys work, but they did it flawlessly. It has such a traditional feel to it, especially knowing what a Columbus Blue Jacket is and that patriotism behind it. Having the cannon in the middle, which is just awesome considering they blow the cannon every time their team scores a goal in their arena. Everything about this jersey is awesome. I love the fact that they have brought it back in recent years as well, having it as an alternate, just slightly different. But the original ones, which I believe are these, I could be wrong, but I believe these are the first ones I've always been a big fan of. Cannot say enough good things about these. Next up, we have the Dallas Stars, and again, it's another situation where I know that there is a lot of debates that go on between what the North Stars, who should they feel more connected to, whether it's the Stars or the Minnesota Wild. I understand the meaning behind both of them, between the relocation, who owns the history, and why Minnesota, you can obviously talk about being part of the Wild because, you know, the Minnesota North Stars and Minnesota Wild. I understand both those, but that was another factor into why I just didn't even bother doing the North Stars here. So we have really what would be my original first pick for the Dallas Stars, which is what they had back in the old days. I believe they had these, if I'm guessing, I know that they had this kind of style jersey back when they were in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Buffalo Sabres. I love these jerseys. Mike Modano, these are the type of guys I think of when I see rocking these. I'm trying to think if Sergei Zubov rocked these as well. I think he did. But awesome jerseys. I love the star. I love that they brought it back in the reverse retro, just with their own rendition. And that one could easily become my favorite in coming years, depending on how much they resonate well with me on the ice. But awesome jersey. Love the design. I love between the green and the black. And I've never been a huge fan of green in jerseys, but they pulled off well. I love the gold logo and the striping going on with the white and the gold around the jersey. Awesome jersey overall, so unique and so different, and that's why it really stands out to me. I've really enjoyed every time I've seen these on the ice. Next up, we have the Detroit Red Wings, and I believe these were the jerseys that they rocked in the Winter Classic as well against the Chicago Blackhawks. If I am wrong, though, let me know in the comments below. I've been in love with these ever since I first saw them, and I would always rock them at times when I would be playing EA NHL because I used to play those games a lot when I was younger. Awesome jersey, so simplistic yet so different for the Red Wings. Having that big D in there, it just looks, no pun intended, having the D, it looks awesome. I love everything about it between the white and having that big red stripe around. The numbers look great too on the back. I know I don't have a photo of it, but another simple jersey, yet so effective in my opinion. So underrated by the Red Wings too. It's a beautiful jersey, and I can't get enough of it. Next up, we have the Edmonton Oilers, and I've always loved their traditional orange and blue, royal blue being the main color. I was not a big fan when they went to resulting in orange being their main color, and then navy blue. It has not hit the same for me. They're not bad jerseys, but I love the traditional look, what they had prior, still with Adidas here, and just phenomenal jersey. I love these every single time I saw McDavid wearing these, or Draisaitl, whoever, Taylor Hall as well. They always resonated well with me. I think they're so simplistic, again, but there's so much tradition and history behind these, and I've never been against these jerseys at all. They've always just been simple, yet they get the job done. Awesome jerseys, and I can understand why do I like them so much if they're as simple as they are versus some of the other jerseys I've shown. They just, for whatever reason, I've just always been connected to these jerseys, and I always think about the Edmonton Oilers and all their history when I see that actual royal blue with the orange as basically the secondary color. Next up, I have the Florida Panthers, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but their white jerseys back in the day when Bure was the captain for them, as you can see, I love these. Every single time I saw clips of these on the ice, because I didn't watch them live during the time that they were rocking these were awesome. I've always been a big fan of them. I really love their new reverse retro, which is kind of paying homage to this kind of design. Just, it has, I believe, the main color is the navy blue, but seriously, awesome jerseys, sick. I from all the highlights I've seen of the Panthers in the past, including Bure, whenever they rocked these white ones, it just was always fantastic to me. I love between the striping going on, between the yellow, the red, and the navy blue touches is just perfect. And I also love the fact that they didn't go with, say, navy blue here for the lettering. I love the fact that they stayed with the red, with the outline of the white, and then the navy blue at the end for the trim. Just fantastic jerseys. A very underrated one in my opinion. Next up, we have the LA Kings, and they brought back this kind of retro jersey over the past year or two, and these are phenomenal. Very, very reminiscent of the ones I have behind me that they rocked during the days of Gretzky, but the main difference here being from just the eye test is that they changed the color from being gray here to actually being black, and then they also have that outline of white and then gray as the final trim, which is like a silver, I believe. Awesome jerseys. I've been in love with these ever since they dropped them not too long ago. I seriously, one of my favorite jerseys that Adidas has come out with really since they took over for the NHL. Simple jerseys. I know that the purple and the yellow are so great when you think of the LA Kings, and don't get me wrong, they are. I love their new reverse retro. I love the fact that they have silver in here, black, gray, white. These are awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm a simple guy when it comes to certain colorations. I just like things I know can go great with a lot of different looks, and these are just get the job done for me, no doubt about it. Awesome jerseys. Next up, we have the Minnesota Wild, and I know it's a little cut off, but you see both angles here because I want to make sure you saw the lettering, and that is the Wild back when Marian Gaborik was on the team in the early 2000s. I've just always loved these jerseys, especially because of the lettering design. It reminds me a little bit, I believe the Colorado Avalanche did something not too far off when it comes to the lettering before, and these just look sick. I love everything about it. It kind of gives you that idea that, yes, it's the Minnesota Wild. That's why you kind of have the numbers like designed the way it is. I love everything about it, even though, like I said, I've never been a huge fan of having green in jerseys. Between having the green for Gaborik here that you see on the jersey and the 10 being red with that green outline, I think it looks great, and it's not too Christmassy for me, if you will, and they have that obviously gold trim, it looks like, in between, at least the line in between the green on the shoulder and sleeves and then the red. It just balances it so well. I love that logo, the patches that they have on the shoulders too, saying the Minnesota Wild in that circle, like crest, if you will. Awesome jerseys. Marian Gaborik, I was just looking at jerseys for these, and Gabby has some great ones, and I'm a huge Marian Gaborik fan. Obviously, you guys know me as a huge Rangers fan as well, so he's just always been the main guy that I think of when I think of the Minnesota Wild outside of Mikko Koivu, so kind of felt fitting to, he's like the only player that I kind of picked specifically for this video. But seriously, awesome jerseys. I would love to see the Minnesota Wild bring this kind of style back, and I know it might be unpopular, but that's just my opinion. Next up, we have the Montreal Canadiens, and this might be another very controversial one. From my understanding, I think this is when they had their Centennial Classic not too long ago, just over the past 5 years, and these are great jerseys. I love everything about them because they're so different than what we normally see with the Habs, yet there really isn't that many drastic changes. You know, you Carey Price, the name and the numbering here is filled in with blue with that kind of silver outline. I love the fact that they have silver on in the sleeves. It's subtle yet effective, and in the logo for the Habs logo, everything about this jersey is sick. And if you look up closely, I'm pretty sure that there's actually lettering going on in that jersey in the silver on the sleeves. I forget what it says, but awesome jersey, simply fantastic. Seriously, I would love to see the Habs have these, wear them more often as a constant alternate. That's just my opinion though. There's some other really strong Habs jerseys I like that we've seen in the past, really going back to their older times and the really in between when they first started and throughout the 1900s. I love these jerseys, however. Great look, a little different, but really effective. I just love the fact that they have that silver tint in them. I really think that's what separates them from the rest. Next up, we have the Nashville Predators, another controversial jersey properly. The Preds are one of those where, while a lot of people think that their older jerseys are ugly, especially like the reverse retro that they brought back, for instance, having the yellow and then also having the navy blue involved and these like silverish, I love those jerseys, but these ones have just always stood out to me the most. And I know it may seem absurd, but back when they rocked these earlier, when Shea Weber wasn't even captain, as you can see, I believe this was more in the early 2000s. Awesome jerseys. I just love these. I love the fact that there isn't yellow in here. It's different. The logo is so detailed as well. I believe it has like a red/orangish eye color here, and it has that silver kind of hint, if you will, with the logo in itself. But then you have the collar's black, it's navy blue, and you have that checkered on the bottom, where normally I wouldn't love that kind of checkered design, but how they portrayed it, how it is subtle and being both navy blue and black, so it doesn't pop out at you right away. If you just glance, you'd probably think that those two stripes would just be black, but in reality it's a checkered of black and navy blue. Awesome jerseys though. I really like these, and on the shoulder patches too, they have their other logo that they have now on their new reverse retro jerseys, which is the older one where it's the actual skull of the saber-tooth tiger. Awesome jerseys. Can't say enough good things. Another probably unpopular opinion, but these ones have always stuck with me, and they won't stop anytime soon. Next up, we have the New Jersey Devils, and this one will be a quick review. We know the Devils really haven't done anything drastic with their jersey history after becoming the New Jersey Devils from being the Colorado Rockies, I believe. But really, even though this isn't much different than what they currently have is their white jersey. They don't have that bottom stripe, and I think that's kind of an X factor for me. I like that a lot. I like that balance between the bottom stripe and the sleeves as it is, and then the black shoulders. I love that color combination. You guys know this by now. Black, white, red, all together looks great. Simple yet very effective. I was a huge fan of these jerseys back when the Devils actually still had them. I know that they've done slight changes over the years, but these Devils jerseys are simple, yet they definitely get the job done for me. I love them, and the logo is just so smart. It's honestly one of the most underrated logos in the league, and I'm not a Devils fan by any means, but I can definitely admire the logo and the design and everything. It's just, it really is something in my opinion. Next up, we have the New York Islanders, and this one is probably a head scratcher to you all. A lot of people view these as arguably the most ugly Islander jerseys in their history outside of the Fishermen. I really like the Fishermen, I do, but these were the first Islanders jerseys that actually stuck with me, where I was like, wow, I like these. And I know you're probably seeing the trend with the black, but for whatever reason, these jerseys I always liked. I would wear them at times too when I'm playing the EA games and stuff. I don't know. It just, they rocked these right in the beginning of the 2010s. I believe 2011 was when they first debuted them, but simple jerseys, effective. It's so odd how you have the blue, the gray. It makes me think of the Knicks right away, and the Mets especially, with just how the styling is. How it says Islanders in front with a number. Again, this is normally a style that I wouldn't love, but out of all the Islanders jerseys, and even their more recent ones where it's just the black ones with the NY for like Brooklyn, those are nice too. They're simple, but these ones have always stuck to me. They've always been my favorites out of all the Islanders, and I know you're probably wondering, Tyler, why do you have like some of the worst taste in all the NHL regarding their jerseys? I don't know. I really like these. I like the striping. I like the blue, the orange, the gray, how it comes down from the sides as well. Looks really, really sick and really clean in my opinion. And yeah, the numbers definitely remind me of the Knicks as well, and how they're outlined with the white. Next up, we have the New York Rangers. You guys know this. It's the Statue of Liberty jerseys. Don't get me wrong. I love the Rangers jerseys as they are. I love their older ones as well. Their previous alternate one was the navy blue, where I believe it said New York on front, with that kind of hint of the beige-ish, if you will, in there. And I loved their Winter Classic jerseys back in 2012 when it was that beige/cream color with the actual old Rangers crest in the middle. I've loved all Rangers jerseys for the most part, but it doesn't get any better than the Statue of Liberties. The white ones, I should say, not away, because I believe they were still home at this time, but phenomenal jerseys. Absolutely sick. Rocking Gretzky here. Just between the logo, having the silver in there. I know it's harder to see. The striping, how it goes from that kind of, more maroon, deeper red to the gray, and then red, and then the navy blue to finish things off. And then between the numbering, I've always loved the Rangers numbering. It's one of the best in the league, in my opinion. I'm trying to say that unbiasedly. I just always admired it, and how they do that kind of almost shadow look, if you will. Phenomenal jerseys. I love the navy blue ones as well with the red at the end. I love them both, but if I had to pick between the two, if I was in that life or death scenario, I would probably have to go with the white ones. They're just phenomenal. He's probably my favorite jerseys of all time the NHL has ever seen. It doesn't get much better than that, in my opinion. Next up, we have the Ottawa Senators, and I know that there's something in the O here. I don't know why that is. Ignore that little whatever it is, but regardless, these were always my favorite for the Sens. I love their heritage one as well, where it's the dominant color, I believe, is the actual the like beigeish color. Love those two. I've always been a huge lover of the O. I don't care what anyone says. These ones are awesome, simply awesome, between the striping of the red and the numbers on the back. I love the fact that they went with beige to kind of blend in and be subtle there, but it also pops too. Everything about this jersey is phenomenal. It's one of my favorites the NHL's ever had to offer, believe it or not. There's just something about it that has always resonated well with me. When I saw the Senators wear this in previous years, just awesome. Like, I don't know what else to say but awesome. I know I've been saying that for everything, but amazing jerseys, truly remarkable. And these are definitely ones I would love to get one day, whether it's Spezza or Alfie or Erik Karlsson, whoever it may be. Just fantastic jerseys. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Flyers, and again, you're seeing a trend, right? Another black-based jersey, this time with the orange and the white. I've never been a lover of much of any Flyers jerseys, but these are by far my favorite, and it really doesn't get close. They rocked these, I believe, in the early 2000s. Really see Giroux here. This was earlier in his career. Great jerseys, though. I think they're simple. I love the fact that the orange isn't too poppy. It's not too out there. I like that it has that more deeper, subtle look, if you will. Just a simple jersey, yet effective, and I love the fact that it goes from the white, and it's kind of broken down like that on the jersey, and goes from the white, then to the orange, and then you can see on both sides on the inner part of the sleeve, and then it goes back to the black. Awesome jersey. Really underrated one, in my opinion. I know a lot of people probably think these are ugly, but I would take this design, this jersey, any day over the week versus what the Flyers just did for the reverse retros that they came out with yesterday, or their current ones. Again, I know I'm definitely a homer when it comes to like the color black on things, but they always just look sick to me. It doesn't really matter what team is rocking them. I love this kind of style. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins, and this was such a tough debate because I love the Pens jerseys back when Lemieux and Yager were on the team, especially the Yogs jersey as well, where it's the Penguin not far off from the style they have now, but just slightly different in the logo, and it was more of their current colors when it comes to that really out there full-on mustard yellow and the black and the white. But when the Winter Classic happened, the first official Winter Classic for the NHL with Crosby, first Winter Classic against Ryan Miller, this was the jersey they rocked, and I've always been a huge fan of it. I love the powder blue. I love the fact that they had the Penguins in the middle as that smaller crest. Everything about this jersey stands out to me. It was phenomenal from everything that I watched, from watching the Winter Classic when I was younger, and everything in between. These just always stand out to me. They're so out there. They're so different than what we normally see with the Penguins, and I think that's perfectly fine. We've seen other teams kind of rock this similar style. I know the Florida Panthers have had a jersey like this as well. Really, basically the same jersey, just their own little Panther logo in the middle of that circle, but awesome jerseys. I cannot say enough good things. If there's any Pens jersey that I would love to get any day of the week, it would be these. Next up, we have the San Jose Sharks, and this was a tough debate because I love their new reverse retros that they came out with. I love their white jerseys as well. Back when Owen Nolan and even Adam Graves and Nabokov, they were all on the team at points, and it had that more dominant teal/aqua color and the striping on the bottom. You can't go wrong with these blacks. I think a lot of people are thinking these are too simple. They're not. It's not as good as what they currently have. I understand that argument. That's perfectly fine. Their new logo is awesome, but I've always had an itch for their older jerseys, and these have always stood out to me without question. I love them. I really do. With the black, having the aqua, kind of blue, teal, whatever you want to call it, having the shoulder with the fin, the shoulder patches. I know it's hard to see here, but then also having the outline, the white, and then that same type teal/aqua color, and the both lettering and the numbering. Fantastic. Love this jersey, and I would love to see the Sharks bring it back in years going forward, and hopefully this is a good indication with what we've seen from the reverse retro release yesterday. Next up, we have the St. Louis Blues, and very similar to what they just came back with, but this time the red is the dominant color for them for the reverse retro. I love them, I do, but their white ones stand out to me the most. Seeing Gretzky in that hole, all these, Guy Carbonneau, such an underrated player in his career now, Hall of Famer, deservingly now. Awesome jersey. I love the fact that they have the numbering kind of going with the lining on the back of the jersey. It is truly such an eye popper. It's one of those where you kind of love them or hate them because they have red in here. They have yellow. It's very untraditional when it comes to what we know the St. Louis Blues to be, especially over these past 20 years, really. But these have always stood out to me. Awesome jerseys. I would love to see them bring this kind of back and do another retro in years going forward with bringing the white back. I think they would look sick. Al McInnes, all these guys, they look so good in these jerseys, and you can't tell me otherwise. Here we have for the Tampa Bay Lightning, it is, yes, their 2004 Cup winning jerseys, the black ones. I love the white ones as well, and I love the fact that they did the reverse retro to 2004, and now they have it as that kind of more royal blue. But these, fantastic, you know, Marty St. Louis, Vincent LeCavalier, the list goes on, Andrew Chuck that you see here, among others, and Dan Boyle as well. I'm just think Brad Richards, such a great team. But these jerseys, awesome. They're kind of funky to some people. I love the shoulder patches, however. I love the logo. I love that heavy shadow. Just how they managed to make this work was better than I could have ever imagined. And I think I also have a personal connection to them because all I can think about is 2004. And I love that team. I love that run for them. So I think that was a factor into as well. But I've always admired these jerseys quite a bit, and I would take these any day of the week over what the Tampa Bay Lightning currently have. And that's saying a lot because their jerseys right now are pretty nice, simplistic but still really nice. Next up, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs, and if I am correct, I thought this was a jersey the Leafs wore in their Winter Classic against the Detroit Red Wings not too long ago. It could have been their white jerseys, however, same style. So if I am wrong, that's fine. Let me know in the comments below. But I love these jerseys. Them and the white ones, the same style. It was really hard to pick one over the other. I love them kind of equally, but I guess if I had to pick, I would go with the blue here. It's very different yet simplistic to what we normally see the Leafs as. I love the fact that the white, the Leaf is highlighted as well by another big white stripe around with that trim of that silver going on. Simple jerseys yet really effective. I love them from the first time I saw them. Same thing with their white ones of this same style, no doubt. I love white on white on white. I think it looks great depending on exactly how they portray it. But these ones, fantastic. I would definitely pick these over what they currently have as their reverse retros because you can just check out my previous video if you want to know my thoughts on them. It's not great to say the least. Next up, we have the Vancouver Canucks, and this was a tough decision and a huge honorable mention I want to give to the Canucks, and it's a jersey that I have. It's really my brother's, but I rock in the back of these videos, is the white Canucks one, where it's a navy blue, but they have the red and the silver. Those are my big honorable mentions, especially seeing them in person. I haven't seen a Canucks flying skate in person yet, so maybe it would vary if I see them in person, but just from all that I've seen between thinking about the Canucks run back in '94, among other things, and then bringing it back for their Adidas version, amazing jerseys. I love the coloration. I love the black. I love the yellow. I love the red. Everything about this jersey hits home to me. Again, another jersey where I know black dominant, and I would pick these any day of the week, again, over what the Canucks currently have. I love the Canucks logo. I do. I think it's really out there, the Canucks logo. It's so cool, though, and how they design it to have that C incorporated while still being the whale and like the splash, whatever it's doing there. But these jerseys, they're kind of in a class of their own for me. I know that you either love them or hate them, and again, I love them. Next up, we have the Vegas Golden Knights, and they don't have a lot of options, so I just gotta go with their current home ones. The gray, the gold on the sleeves, having that it kind of being imprinted and raised, if you will, with how they have that sleeve design, and it's like that kind of flaky gold, if you will, that they have really as their main alternate now, which is that all gold jersey. That's a little too much for me, but this is a perfect subtle. I love their logo. I think it's a great design. I think there aren't a lot of teams that can rock gray, but they definitely do it. Love these jerseys. Love everything about them. And really, Vegas has done a great job with their jersey reveals thus far, especially with their reverse retro. I do like that one quite a bit. But a solid jersey. Nothing crazy, but between the logo and having the gold implementation, I've seen them in person, and they're definitely better than what the eye will tell you, say on television or online. Next up, we have the Washington Capitals, and I gotta go with these. I know the Screaming Eagle is awesome. I know that there's a huge following between the Screaming Eagle with that black and that kind of copper color, but These ones have always stood out to me since the first time I saw the Caps rock these in the earlier 2000s. They had different versions of them. They had them as the full red jersey now, but the white ones are my favorite for sure. Between the stars up front with the Washington Capitals logo down here, that kind of retro look to it, just the spacing on the bottom too from red, white to blue, and having the shoulders and connecting some of that sleeve, like a quarter of the sleeve, to the red. And you can't see much in this video, but there's stars all aligned on the sleeve as well. Amazing jersey, simply amazing. One of my favorites, honestly, especially for a team that I'm not a huge lover of, as we know, but oh my God, just such a good jersey, such a good jersey. I don't know what else to say. I would love to see the Capitals bring them back. It's literally the exact same, or maybe slightly different in the Adidas version going forward as a white. So let me know if you agree, because those are awesome. Last but not least, we have the Winnipeg Jets, and you got to go with their most retro look back when Solani was on the roster. They have a lot of slightly different versions of this. They brought this design back, but with more of a deeper maroon red and I believe a navy blue, and those look great too, don't get me wrong, but these stand out to me the most, just from when you think of the Winnipeg Jets. To me, you think about these jerseys, you think of Teemu Solani. Just that is the first thing that pops in my mind. It always will be. I love these jerseys with a passion. It really crushed me to see them go a completely different route when it came to their coloration and the reverse retros. I understood why they did it, because that was actually like the first jersey they ever had involved some gray, but still, these hit home to me. These are phenomenal. They're one of my favorite jerseys of all time for any single NHL team out of the entire league, without a question. I would love to see the Jets bring this kind of style back, and I think I would definitely advocate to make this their actual normal jerseys, because their normal jerseys right now are great. I love their logo. I'm actually a big fan of it. I love the simplicity of actually having the jet in there while having the why am I blanking? The Canadian leaf and everything about it. I think it's simple. I think it's great, but you got to have these as a permanent alternate. I don't know how you don't. They're just, such a great jersey, between the blue, the red, the white, how it's white on bottom, white on top. It's like the color is just focused in, but it's not too overbearing. And then to have that white splash in the main part of the logo as well, doesn't get much better than that. Phenomenal, truly phenomenal jerseys. But that's going to conclude this video, guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree, disagree with my favorite jerseys of every NHL team? I'm sure you're going to disagree heavily. I know that there are a lot of similar colors going on between the blacks and the whites, and I understand. I have a very acquired taste with things. I'm kind of nitpicky with how I view things, and I apologize. That's just how I roll, just kind of things I like. But I want to know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let me know if you want to see these kind of topics going forward of my favorite things, whether it's my favorite player from every single NHL team, my favorite logos, my favorite retro logos, like whatever you want. If you want to see me do this kind of content going forward, I want to hear your thoughts, because that will definitely push me to want to make these things happen. So make sure to let me know. Comment your thoughts down below. What are your favorite jerseys of all time from either your favorite team or all teams in the NHL? Seriously, let me know, because I would love to have these conversations. It's been a lot of fun. Hit that like and subscribe button. Again, if you enjoy this kind of hockey content, check out previous videos. I'll have them right down below with my end screen in a second. But thank you all so much, guys. It means a ton, and I will talk to you again real soon.